In this video, we'll have a look at what happens when we charge our tenants rent and other charges every week or fortnight. An example of this would be if we charged our tenants an ongoing utilities charge or garden maintenance charges every week, and we would like Chintaro to create two charges for us so we can differentiate between the balances. We'll start by having a look at our tenant, Michael Green. When we open his tenancy screen, we can see that this is a brand new tenancy, as in the tenancy transactions ledger, we only have one opening balance of $0. We can see that we'll be charging him $300 per fortnight in rent here, but we want to see if there are any other charges, so we'll click Edit Rent and have a look at the rent record. The middle section of the screen changes to show us the rent record, and this is a history of all the charges from this room. Each line in here tells us that there was a different tenant in the room, or that a rent review was completed, and the amounts charged for the period are in these columns. The current rent record will show at the top of the screen, and the current rent charge has no end date. We have 4 columns here, which can be used to charge ongoing charges other than rent, and your Chintaro system administrator can change the names of these to suit your organisation through system maintenance and reference tables. Let's assume that as well as Michael's weekly rent charge, we are also going to charge him an ongoing utilities charge of $10 a week. We'll enter 10 in the utilities column here and click elsewhere on the screen. We're not going to charge any other charges, so we'll click Tenancy Transactions and go back to the default view. Now, when we click the Generate Rent button, we'll see the Generate Rent pop up, where we see we'll be charging Michael 14 days of rent, and when we click Generate, 2 separate transactions have been created in the Tenancy Transactions ledger for the same period, one for rent and one for utilities, both with the same charge to and from dates, but different amounts. In the balance column, we see the running balance now includes the utilities charge. The total balance is $320, and we have 2 tenancy balances appearing in the box here. The balances are listed in descending order from left to right, so the rent appears on the left, followed by the utilities balance. When we generated rent, we generated it to the 30th of June 2019. And if we look over on the left side of the screen, we see the rent charge to date has changed to this date also. The rent charge to date should always match the last date of the last rent charge, which we can see in the comments here. If we want to see the transaction comments in full, we can double click the transaction to open it. We'll have a look at the various other things we can do with transactions in later videos.